Hello YouTubers, WVPiper, and this is going to be a VR to WVPiper, Mr. Kevin Twyford. And housekeeping, I'm smoking some Strauss Royal Flush in my Mr. Bragg chocolate. I've really grown to like this pipe a lot so far. Very smooth, easy draw, just a great smoker. Okay, so Mr. Twyford wants to know a little bit of history about where we live. I live in very extreme rural West Texas. And the closest town that we live to has about 9,000 or 10,000 people, and we're about 15 miles out in the country. And let me get turned around here and I will show you the area where I live and tell you just a little bit about it. I don't know a whole lot about the history of where I live, although it's sad because I grew up here. I know a lot, but it's more due to just like with my family history type of stuff. But let me turn the camera around and I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, so this is Klondike, Texas. There's not a whole lot here. There's a cotton gin right there that's been closed for the good part of 20 years. Over to the left, there's Klondike Baptist Church, just a little country church. And then let's move over here. That's a water station for the oil field. There's Klondike High School. There's about 15 houses right there around it. That's where I live. You can't see my house. It's kind of nestled in the middle. But that's where I live. That's where I went to school. That's where my wife works. And there is nothing like a Friday night football game in the middle of West Texas where the only thing you can see for about 5 miles is the stadium lights. It's pretty awesome. And then if you go, turning back around this way, if you go just right over that hill, right now you're looking to the west and the school is to the north. If you top that hill, you'll see the house that I grew up in. And let me see if I can pull up a little closer and I'll get you a shot of that. Alright, now if you look straight ahead down the highway, that yellow brick house, that's the house I grew up in. Now, a little history on that house. It was built by my great-grandfather in 1949, and we moved into it in, I believe, 1983, and my parents still live there, and I hope to eventually move into it one day, but probably not for a very long time. And if you look off to the left, to the southwest, that's my parents' barn. My parents have been cotton farmers their whole life, and most of the land to the left of the highway is ours. And the barn was built like in 1970, I believe, and I think they built it for like 30 grand, and now it's worth about 100 grand. Pretty crazy. Just the price of cement and steel has gone up that much. But anyway, so you'll look back, there's the school, the church and gin. So let's get back in the truck. There's a car coming. Let's see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. Now what I'm going to try and do is we're going to run into town, Lamesa, which is about 15 miles from us. I've got to run some errands and I'm going to make a few stops and show you some of the historical things in Lamesa, the ones that I know about anyways. So hold on and I'll be right back. Okay, just a quick shot from right outside of town. To the right you'll see that the big long pyramid looking building, that's the old cottonseed factory that is no longer in business. You'll see the old granary tower, which is no longer in business. Keep going along. You can kind of, if you look over the trees, you can kind of see the clock tower of the First Baptist Church. And so, anyway, just a quick little shot of that outside of town. So there's an actual Texas historical marker in Lamesa, and the reason for this marker is 1 mile north, which is 1 mile across this field where you're looking. There used to be a town called Chicago. Yeah, there was actually a Chicago, Texas, and back in the 1890s, we actually live in, our county is called Dawson County, and back in the 1890s, Dawson County, you know, held an election for a county seat. Okay, sorry, there's 2 big trucks coming by. So Dawson County held the election for county seat, and Lamesa won the election. And within just a few days, basically everyone in this town of Chicago had moved their houses and their businesses 2 miles south to Lamesa, and the town was pretty much deserted by then. And I think there's like maybe just a tree and a sign where Chicago is. I haven't been out there in a long time. But anyway, so there's a little bit more history about my area.